Hello, and welcome to a game that is part of the Gauntlet community. The Gauntlet is a big community of gamers who play indie, kind of small press, as well as OSR, tabletop role playing games. If none of those terms make any sense to you, that's fine. It means something to us, and we love our jargon. This is not only part of the Gauntlet community, but it's a subset. It's a particular living campaign with multiple GMs called Gauntlet Comics. And the approach to Gauntlet Comics is as if it's an imprint of this made up comic book label. So it's an excuse to do lots of superhero, bashy cape and cowl type stuff. But a number of the folks involved are doing some crazier things, like games of misspent youth are coming, and Monster of the Week has already been played within the Gauntlet Comics label, and I am running this month. This will be the fourth of four sessions of Demigods PBTA. What's that, you ask? I've never seen that on my shelf. Well, that's because it's currently in beta playtest. Beta playtest means game not run by the author. I'm not the author. Jason Mills is writing Demigods PBTA. And it is kind of Percy Jackson, if you've seen that novel series or young adult novel series, or the one movie that was supposed to be part of the series and didn't do well enough to be made into a series, sadly. I liked it. Or also American Gods a little bit, but a lot more Percy Jackson than American Gods. The idea that modern setting, but there are major deities that have existed and still have influence on the world, and they have children because they like getting it on with humans and other things. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Won't we, David? And then you guys, as players, will play the progeny of these deities, which is fun because remember, as I grew up, my local library, there was a whole section on mythology and the Time Life books and all these other things that I just ate up. So it's very fun for me to kind of dig in and throw different myths all together because they're all true. It's not one particular pantheon. Although, let's be honest, I'll lean towards the Greek myths. I'm sorry, even though there are some real terrible gods in the Greek myths. Overall, I find it pretty interesting. Some of the stories and especially etymology of words. And before we transition to talk about the characters as well as the story so far, let me advise you that we have safety tools, and those safety tools are not for the characters. I don't care about their safety. It's for you guys as players. I, in particular, like to use the X card. The X card is a pretty blunt tool. It's not very nuanced when it does allow us to signify when things make us feel uncomfortable or unsafe, to where playing this game isn't fun and is causing you to withdraw or not want to participate. And all you have to do is you can make an X, you can type an X in the chat, or you can also click on the roll for your party, the X card, and that pops up anonymously. Now, what I'll do if something is X carded is stop the game and have a brief conversation to understand what it was that was X carded, not to challenge it, because your lived experience is completely valid. Whatever makes you feel uncomfortable that you want to X card, I'm not going to override that. You're important here. You're much more important than any made-up fiction that we have going on here. I will even say that Thor has red hair if you want. I'll do that if it's X carded about Thor being a blonde. I was goading somebody there. No, nobody's going to call me. Anyway, X card is an important tool, legitimately. Aside my nerd jokes there. And also, the last bit about X card that I always like to say is if something you're like, I don't super love that, but you let it ride because you're not in the scene, or for whatever reason you think, I'm good, I can tolerate this, and then it starts to bother you, you can still X card, right? Even as 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes later, if it gets to the point where you feel unsafe or super uncomfortable, just X card it. And then we have 5 beautiful brains here, and we will figure out how to end around that thing, excise it from our play, and move on. And I'm not at all worried that we can do that. I trust you guys as adults to speak up to me. And if you don't, or if there's something else, we also have the open door policy. Right? If something comes up, you need to go. If I'd appreciate it if you can to give me a heads up if you plan to be back or if you're gone for the session. Just try to give me that heads up if you can, so that I don't worry about you. Really, it is primarily what it's about. And then you can leave at any time because you're an adult, and this is for fun. And it's not kind of work commitment. I can't pay you for it. I pay you with my joy and my effort. That's it. That's all I've got to offer you, my friends. I hope it's enough. So that is all the spiel. I'm gonna get to squeeze it into 5 minutes and get to the point where I can just do one word per sentence. You guys just get it in. But then again, there's always new people, so who knows? Let's introduce our demigods. I'm very excited because we have returning demigods. Schedules have aligned. The worlds are in sync, and we have the full boat, as it were, of our demigods, our Argonauts, perhaps. Ooh. See, I told you it's Greek myths all the time. Jason, please remind us, who are you playing?
I super wasn't ready for you to call me first. So I am playing Colby Hikaru. He is the arcane, so he is kind of the magical wizardy type. His divine parent is Odin. Colby's general point of view is that gods getting involved in mortal stuff is always kind of messy, and he would just assume they stayed out of it. He says this especially because he's read enough about Odin to know that he just comes up being a nasty trickster son of a sorry, I almost cursed there, but we got that rating. And then his mom actually wasn't a hero when she had him, but shortly after becoming pregnant with him, Hiraku Katsu became the champion of Nike. Or Nike, if you want to pronounce it that way. It's up to you. It's cool.
Does she have the swoosh? I just want to know, in your mind, does she have a swoosh anywhere?
Sure. I think that when she does a thing, the swoosh is always in the motion line. Yeah, so he's generally has a disheveled kind of appearance while being at the same time just amazingly handsome. And he also has a tiny little mouse familiar that we haven't seen a whole lot of, named Lazarus. And I picked up actually in advance last time, and it took me a moment to figure out what I want to do, and I think I'm going to take a move from the Reaper playbook that is called Best of 7, which allows me to challenge people to games that can't rely entirely on luck, and they have to do it. The way it actually says is you are able to challenge anyone to a contest of skill that can't rely entirely on luck. Set terms, and if they agree, will both be held to the agreement. Never going against a Reaper when death is on the line. So they don't have to do it, but they might want to. There's these terms. Could be souls. Could be, the color of your hair. Whatever.
Nice. Completely unrelated, but I must share this because I'm excited. It has been confirmed that William Sadler will be reprising his role as the Reaper in Bill and Ted 3. Okay, anyway, because that quote. Anyway, thank you so much, Jason. David, remind us of the character that you are playing.
Yeah, I'm playing Pillar. Pillar started life in a Masks game. He was the inadvertent creation of more of a comic book deity, like a Loki type figure. And ever since then, he's been trying to be a superhero. And then he learned that there are other demigods similar to himself. And he decided to meet them and has been going on adventures here, mostly in Labyrinth, and which I love. And in fact, in the first time he went to that Labyrinth, he created a girlfriend out of a calculation device or astrology device kind of thing. Although maybe a portent to the future of their relationship. I don't think he's talked to her since then, basically. So not the best boyfriend so far, but he's trying to figure it out, It's hard. He's not even one yet.
He is. He's like months old. So weird. I mean, is he old enough to have a girlfriend? I don't know. All right. Thank you so much, David. Sherry, please remind us of your character.
I'm playing Althea Ellie Darden. She is a daughter of Persephone. Her class is called the Verdant in this. She's good with plants and animals, just like you would expect. She is, what should we say? Her human father was Neil Darden, the garden guy, TM. He is a media personality, a avatar of organic gardening and home gardening and all things green in Gauntlet City. And he's kind of a YouTube personality as well. She grew up with that. And then her parents were always separated in her memory. And she would go to visit her mom on weekends. And most of the year she just went, and there was her grandmother there too, a sort of fraught situation between her mother and her grandmother. She didn't kind of get that. And then during the winter, she would go to stay with her mom, with her stepdad, I guess. But that was always weird because her mom would pack all of her food in Tupperware and she had to eat out of that. But she still kind of liked it there. But eventually it was her stepdad, Hades, who told her that she was a demigod. Anyway, since then, she's decided to move out, strike out in the world, find some other demigods, figure this stuff out. She's got herself a demigod boyfriend. Yeah, she'll make sure he'll turn out a good guy. She's just gotta help him out a little bit. That's all. And then the other people who live in the house with her, they've all got their thing going on. She's trying to get her head wrapped around it. All these pantheons are kind of confusing. And she didn't pay attention to any of her god lessons.
Deification, I guess.
Exactly.
Cool. Thank you so much, Sherry. Last but not least, Alexi, remind us of your character.
Hey, so I'm playing Danny Molokai. He is the elemental. He can control lava, as is befitting, since he is the son of the Hawaiian goddess Pele. His father was a seismologist. His father was, truthful as far as it went when he was growing up, but only when Danny met an obsidian shark named Mono that has become his steed did he have explained to him that his mother Pele was the Pele, and he had these godlike powers over lava and magma. Lanky guy, hasn't met his mom Pele and is kind of working to earn that. He thinks he needs to really kind of demonstrate mastery over the element to earn this privilege. And last session we saw him kind of take some action on the hopeless crush he has on Coldheart, a rival super person and daughter of a Hawaiian snow goddess. I think things will work out with those crazy kids. But certainly Danny doesn't do himself that many favors with his generally awkward disposition. So it's a real miracle I rolled well enough on that sway that they got that dance. Those are big things. Actually, I'll fill Jason in character about the new move that Danny's picked up once it becomes appropriate. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and so there's quite a bit that happened in the 2 sessions since Colby left, stepping into the wardrobe. I want to give Jason just a little bit of a heads up so that some of the little mingling stuff and the zany action that we have going here that isn't missed. Primarily, what has been figured out is that there is a device that can bestow godlike power upon mortals for a brief period of time, and the Furies, who are your counterparts, your rivals, as it were, have taken it upon themselves to steal that device and try to use that device to pull a few of their parents out of Tartarus, which is the the border that where bad gods are sent sometimes, and it's not just the Greek Tartarus. Loki is actually in Tartarus. A mix-up, I'm sure that it wasn't his fault, and so that there's that little bit there. And so when we pick up, and I meant to go find this picture. It's like the one piece of prep I didn't do. I was going to go find the cool picture of an MC Escher room, because that's where you guys were. If you remember, you're in the labyrinth. You have 2 hold, and the labyrinth move is a tab in our character keeper. So I went ahead and marked that you guys had 2 hold at the end of last session. In the MC Escher room there's stairs that lead, and the gravity seems to be capricious. Oh, Alexi, have you found what I need? You have indeed. I love it. I love it so much. You guys can see that picture. Yes, that is exactly what I had in my head. I also thought pretty strongly. I don't know. I believe Jason is a Young Justice fan, but there was a particular episode with Fate, Dr. Fate, and there was a cool MC Escher room effect there that I quite adore. But yeah, that's what we're talking about, is stairways to places where they shouldn't be going. And that is what you guys are dealing with as you try to make your way out of the labyrinth. And as you all 3 are walking, all 3 of you guys are walking. You had dealt with shoot, I forgot his name, but the 2-headed dog,
Orthus.
Thank you. I should have looked in my own character keeper where I try to put things to help myself remember. But yeah, you guys faced off Orthus and got him some treats, which is why it's good to have a verdant there, because she can conjure treats and also talk to animals. So you guys figured that one out.
I think we've got him on a leash now, right?
Yes, I do recall him being on a leash, which is good idea. Why not? And that is when, as you guys have him there with you, you see that there is a small mouse that sticks his head out of a little hole and scurries along, and he's scurrying along the ceiling effectively. And Orthus sees the mouse and starts baying, both heads baying like crazy. What do you do?
Let's see here. Can I rescue the little mouse?
Oh, well, you could go up a set of steps, and as long as the gravity follows, you'll be standing on the ceiling, like Lionel Richie, except different.
Sure, I'll do that.
Cool. All right, cool. So you walk along. Orthus still barking, kind of walking back and forth. You're not sure why, but Orthus seems unwilling to walk up that particular flight of stairs, because it is sideways. Like you walk up that, like you're in a Gene Kelly video, and then you're standing upside down, and your hair doesn't, like, it's still down as you're standing there completely upside down from the others. And Orthus is still barking, and he goes to the stairs, then he comes back and he looks at you, Pillar, and he does this whimper like, come on, do something. And then he goes back to the edge of the stairs. He goes back again. He sniffs, and he's just dragging his leash around, I imagine, because I think that Allie had his leash, and she had to let go. No, who had the leash?
Pillar did.
Oh, Pillar has the leash, right? So he's pulling at he's trying to get you to come over. Like, what do you do, Pillar?
Oh yeah, I gotta follow Allie, see what she's doing. I'll grab this leash. I think the leash was her diamond staff, right? I just read.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like the handle.
Yeah.
So
I think Pillar's like, oh, good boy, let's follow her.
Oh man, now you're gonna go up the stairs, and the dog just watches and starts whimpering. Danny, the shark is with you. How is the shark dealing with? How is Mono dealing with Orthus?
I think he doesn't like this fiery 2-headed dog. I think the shark is kind of like, swimming around in this superheated air as he does, and kind of making sharky growls at this dog.
Nice. I kind of imagine that occasionally he'll just go into the wall and you'll see the shark fin moving through the stairs and the like. So are you following Pillar and Allie up to the mouse? You recognize the mouse, by the way, if you know.
Yeah. Pillar, Allie,
right?
What's wrong with your dog? Something's up here.
And I think Allie is like, well, we guard dog. So, and she's sort of putting her hand out to, like, reach towards the mouse. Can I talk to him?
Yes, you can. And actually, others can as well. This is Lazarus. Colby's pet mouse is familiar.
Oh, Lazarus. Where's Colby?
So, Jason, do you want me to play Lazarus, or would you like to play Lazarus?
You know more about what's going on than I do, and I am happy to let you do it.
Cool. Cue me up. How did Lazarus talk last time? I'll see if I can do a terrible impression of it.
So Lazarus speaks a little fast and is mostly a smart aleck. So, for instance, were you to say to Lazarus, cue me up, how did Lazarus speak last time? And Lazarus would probably have responded, I don't know, how did you speak last time, big guy?
Cool. So, Allie, you just asked Lazarus, what was the question you asked him again?
I just said, Lazarus, where's Colby? Take us to him.
Oh, well, I don't know if you're exactly small enough to fit through the hole. That could be a problem for you. If you guys can do prestidigitation, then sure. Otherwise, you're probably going to have to find a door.
All right, Lazarus, can you bring Colby here?
He
can do prestidigitation.
True. You're a clever girl. You're a clever girl. I'll see what I can do. Now that I've found somebody to distract him, we'll see what we can do. And then he scampers off and ducks through the hole. And Colby, you are currently in a lush field that appears, except on the very edges, as if it is not part of the labyrinth, but you are well aware that you're stuck in the labyrinth. Your portals take you to different parts of the labyrinth, but you haven't been able to just portal out of the labyrinth. Every time you keep bouncing back in. When Lazarus comes to the other side again and finds you, what are you doing?
I think when he comes back in, he's sitting against a tree with his eyes closed, like chewing on a piece of grass. Like he looks like he's hanging out. And when Lazarus first comes up, he just like takes the grass out of his mouth and he goes, I'm meditating. This may look like I'm just being lazy, but I'm meditating.
Whatever makes you happy, champ. Listen, I found the others. You need to come with me. Can you smallify?
Probably. I know Dad can, so that lazy jerk can do it. I probably can too.
Okay, well, come on.
So I will follow Lazarus.
Cool. So then, how is it that you're going to spellcast? I think.
Yeah, the easiest way to do it is for Colby to reach for his weapon of choice, which is spellcasting.
Awesome. So the effect I think you're looking for is, spellcasting
is the inverse of restrict movement. Yeah,
I think so. We'll just say that it's maybe restrict movement is the thing that needs to be tweaked. We'll say, yeah, affect movement, and you're going to change size. So let's see you do that. You roll plus wired.
All right. Nice. That's a 12.
Gee, that's sweet. All right, on a 10 plus, you do it. Pick 2 effects and 1 cost.
Well, I don't especially feel like this is going to need to last real long. So a short duration does not bother me. We're going to call it effect movement. And I think what I'm going to do is to reveal a secret. Like I see something when I'm small that I wouldn't have seen when I was big.
Ooh. So what I'm going to do then is fold that into our labyrinth move.
Sure.
And say that by revealing a secret, you go through effectively kind of the back lot of the labyrinth, as it were. And I will give you a new. Oh, yeah! Thank you for that, David. Double does earn XP. Gotta keep that in mind. You will gain a 3rd hold, and that is the secret that you have learned. So you guys now have 3 hold in the labyrinth move. And I'm curious, did you just Ant-Man shrink, or?
I think that it's not like a Ant-Man shrink. I think that it's more of a winding pathway thing. So like as he's walking forward, he is getting smaller, but he is actually still he's still got the blade of grass, but the blade of grass stays the same size. So eventually, the grass is just too big, and it's over his shoulder now because he can't chew on it anymore. But it's a matter of walking forward. So it's a forced perspective spell.
Oh wow, that's really wicked. And I'm shameless. I think you guys all know this by now. So as you're following Lazarus, he's leading you through the back alleyways effectively. At one point, you see that there is a small goblin that is carrying a piece of wall from one part of the labyrinth and then turning it and then facing it in a different direction to kind of change how the labyrinth is facing. He's removing a door and just kind of reorienting the labyrinth at a particular room.
Colby just waves to him as he goes by. He's like, hey.
And he nods. It's a living. Lazarus pops his head out of the hole, and then Colby steps through, and you see Allie and Pillar, who has a lot more moss on him, and Mono, and a 2-headed dog that is above you because he refused, he's pulling at this leash that has the Allie's diamond scepter, and also Danny is there. Your whole team. And hey guys, there's Colby. Colby, do you have a beard now, or are you still scruffy?
Colby is the same level of scruff. It is his curse to be eternally good looking and scruffy. It stays more or less perfectly rumpled. So he comes out and keeps walking until he's big again, and then he's like, "What kept you?"
Oh, hey, Colby.
Hey.
So we had to fight this hot DJ, and
She wasn't that hot.
I mean, I beg to differ, but anyway, the Furies are doing a thing with a mechanism to make people the gods, and they're going to trade them to Tartarus. And I can see the future now by sticking my face into lava.
You gave me so much information, but I asked you the question, what kept you? Not what have you been up to?
Oh, yes.
Oh, we sent Daedalus to get you out. It's weird that you were still here because he made this place, so I figured he'd be able to find you pretty easily.
I mean, he's basically a god, so you basically can't trust him. So there you go.
You seem like a nice man. Hey, he has a room just down the hall from you now. But
Oh yeah, well, we were in the labyrinth. These two had a bunch of people move into the house. So there's a snake lady.
What?
There's Daedalus. Pillar made a girlfriend out of like gears, and is that it? Is there anybody else I'm forgetting that now lives in our house?
well,
So-
no.
We brought the Minotaur back here, though, right? The Minotaur is not living in our house now. He was going to live in our house, but
He's
Well, we
living in
brought-
the shed.
all right, right. So we got
Also, this dog will move in soon.
what? You can't take. That's the guardian. You can't take the guardian away.
We took all
No
the
one
other
really likes
guardians
living
away.
here except for you.
I don't especially like living here either.
Why didn't you come back? I thought you liked the wardrobe.
Pillar.
Oh, also I can fly.
What?
So there's treasures here. It's a labyrinth, but it's also the basement of our house. And we're sorry we didn't find you earlier, Colby. Very sorry. We kept finding other problems. And that Dynamis machine, the Furies, they're a little confused. They want to like free their parents or get in fights. But essentially what they're going to do is turn some regular people into gods and try a quote unquote Indiana Jones weight trick to swap their parents out of Tartarus
Hmm.
and
Yes,
into the real world.
And
Like
I've
the
never
old-
seen that movie.
Oh,
Right. Well,
Tartarus is the real world also. Like, I know none of your parents are stuck there or anything, but it's not that it's like imaginary or something.
kind of bummed I missed out on the hot DJ.
I think she's still playing.
Sounds like we're on the clock.
Yeah, I saw this vision of a guy turning into like electrical device armor man, and we were headed over there via lava, but then the labyrinth got in the way.
All right.
So we gotta
Well,
find
my portals don't seem to love the labyrinth, so we probably have to solve it by its own rules. Which sucks. I like my rules better.
Well, to be fair, I think as the rules work, we could leave right now. We just wouldn't get any treasure.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say-
that doesn't-
I was just gonna say, what if we just all turn the corner? It's like, this is the exit's right here.
Oh, are we done in the labyrinth then?
If you want to be, unless you want some treasure. That's how it
I
always is.
just kind of presumed your crazy Fury device was down here too. If we're done, I mean, do you want treasure?
No, the Furies have the device.
I'm good. I've got this. Danny holds up the axe he got.
Nice.
Check it out, Colby. It's got shark teeth on it.
Yes. I don't want to bring anything back. I don't want Tiki to be jealous.
Good thinking, Pillar.
I got sleep for the first time in like a week, so that was nice.
All right. Good.
All right.
Maybe the real treasure was the sleep we had along the way.
No, I'm pretty sure that the giant dog, the axe, the sticking your face in lava. You know what? Let's go.
And as you guys walk by the area that Pillar had pointed out, there's some Greek glyphs that are written into the wall. And we see a subtitle that says "This way to the egress." And then you guys step out into the refrigerator, and the refrigerator opens up, and you're in the kitchen of your house. And there's like I imagine there's a little island right in the kitchen type deal. You see a man in Greek robes who everybody but Colby recognizes. And he has a big sandwich, like a jar of mayonnaise and some mustard, and there's a bunch of other fixings. And he's in the middle of biting. I thought you guys were working, playing in the labyrinth. What is going on with that? That's odd.
Delis, you were supposed to get Colby out of the labyrinth. Have you just been eating a sandwich this whole time?
That's Colby. Oh.
Did you took my pickles? You can't even get those in this country. Or actually this plane of you took my pickles for your sandwich.
My friend, they are delicious.
It says on the jar, do not eat Colby's pickles.
I thought that was the brand? See, this is by Hellman's.
Wait, Daedalus, just make sure I'm following. You didn't know what Colby looked like, but you feel like you succeeded at your labyrinth task. So who did you get out of the labyrinth?
He opens up his sandwich. Colby! You guys get some beer when you're out? I've seen lots of commercials. It looks amazing!
Mono growls at Daedalus.
Most of us are still underage, particularly Pillar.
Don't understand that exactly.
Oh, it's fine. I can't drink.
Well, but we could water you. I mean, technically speaking, if we're going to deal with it, and you've already got additional moss and lichen, and beer is basically, almost liquid bread. Although I'm not entirely sure how the magical nature of your body will interact with the beer if we were to pour it on there.
Pillar Pilsner!
That's actually a pretty good name. Pillar, I have an idea for something that we should try.
Daedalus pulls over his small little, notebook, like the detectives use. He starts scribbling some notes in ancient Greece. Ancient Greece. I'm not saying. I don't know. It's the word. Anyway, what do you guys want to do? You are now back on the prime material plane, as it were.
Well, we should probably get to that store because we thought the Gemini twins were going to use this device and make this electric tech dude and then switch him into Tartarus, and we wanted to stop that.
All right, the Buy More. I saw that on the television. It's a veritable cataclysm. Good luck.
Well, I guess we could take it over since the shark thing didn't work out.
You want to portal over?
Ooh, that's right. Colby's back.
Yeah, Colby, you don't have to worry about Kaz. No more Uber for me.
Oh, we're out of the labyrinth. Just, boom.
Zip zap is up. Portal up, man. I love this. I love the spell for portal, so I'm gonna make you do it.
All right.
Oh, you already chose best of 7. I was trying to help you, and I did choose.
No,
you already gotten it.
I found the thing. All right. So, and that uses judgment. Okay. So I got an 8, but I have gifted intellect, and that means I treat it as a 10.
Nice. You have ritual spellbook. You can open portals to unfamiliar places. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm gifted, so I can. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. What is this? I can't remember.
Oh wait, no, I was reading the wrong thing. I was reading counterspell. So it counts 7 to 8. Portal's connected, but you can't see the other side. Yeah.
And you get a +1 if you have the ritual spell book, but I don't.
Yep. But that's still only going to be a 9.
You can't see the other side. You wanted to go to Buy More. You feel the connection. You think it's okay. What do you do?
I mean, I've been waiting to use my portals. So I'm like, all right, let's go.
Cool. All right. So then you guys step through. There we go. Just fix a little thing that was bothering me. And now, sheet. You guys step through the portal to the Buy More. By the way, just kind of head check. Are you leaving Orthrus behind, or are you bringing him along?
We're bringing him along because we might have to have a bit of a battle here, and having a loud, chomping assistant may assist.
All right.
Hey, I'm bringing Mono along. He's plenty chompy.
I mean, too, we could flank them on both sides, right?
I guess.
It's like tactics or strategy or one of those.
Danny kind of hefts his axe and prepares himself as he goes through the portal.
And Mono's like, he does not like Arthurus at all. Arthurus seems very excited about going through and will probably drag Allie halfway through the portal.
Okay.
Stairs are a problem. Portals are okay. Who's the last through?
I don't know.
Pillar?
Yeah, I'll be last.
All right, cool. All right. Then you guys step through to the Buy More parking lot, which is cracked. You see that as you step through, I assume Colby's leading the way because he was excited about using his portal. He comes through with a loud crash. You see that the clouds above are the kind of cirrus cloud looks like a bunch of cotton balls that are all been dipped in gray and dark blue paints, and you can see that there are lightning strikes that happen, and the Buy More, there are a bunch of people who have all like run away and are cowering. A bunch of cars have flipped over, and there is a guy who stands about 10 feet tall. He has like a motherboard over his right arm and like this crazy looking power glove type deal. And he's got all kinds of computer parts and monitors. They're showing a bunch of different TV shows and movies and the like. And he's like this whip that's made out of all kinds of extension cords and one of those squids and everything. And he also has the Nintendo Labo VR on his head. It's been sized for a 12-foot tall individual.
So it used to be a refrigerator box?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much a refrigerator box, yeah.
You think we got the right place?
Oh, yes. I just don't know.
This is just like what I saw in the lava.
Okay.
Except a few steps like progressed from the time you saw the lava.
Do we see the Furies? Any of them?
Thank you for asking that question. Oh, I think there might be a move you're engaging, but you will see some blurs. But hey, if you want to read the weave, that might be a good idea.
Not me. Okay, sure. I'll try it so we can get a good fail under our belt right away. So, rolling the bottom two.
Okay, you're rolling judgment.
Okay. Ooh, I rolled good. I rolled a 10.
And doubles and XP. That's like the perfect combination.
Gosh. It's like,
Oh my gosh. Cool. So on a 10 plus, you get to ask 3 questions from the appropriate list as you look around and try to figure out what is going on.
okay. Ooh, so many things. Let's see here.
And you can ask a question, act on it, communicate, move through, and ask another question if it's a bit much for you.
Okay, and I think that the first question to ask is, there's this big tech guy, and how is he factoring into the weave of what's going on here between all the demigods and Tartarus and stuff?
He has been deified by the mechanism, and he is unaware of the plan to flip him for Loki, which is the plan.
Okay. Let's see here. What is the question that's going to tell me where the Furies are? Let's see here. Okay, how can I get... I know the Furies are here, so how can I get the Furies to show themselves?
Ooh, nice. So, as you are looking around, gathering information, you see that not far from this tech god, as it were, is a device that looks exactly what Daedalus had drawn you of the mechanism, the Dynamis mechanism. And it's got a little indicator light because that's what you do in movies and TV, is have things with an indicator light. But
So
yeah,
you
if you threaten that, then the Gemini twins will definitely show up.
Okay.
What does the device look like besides that? Like more modern, more ancient?
Oh, the Dynamis mechanism. It actually looks like, oddly enough, if you made a steampunk cash register. Yep.
And I think I'm going to turn to Pillar and I go, I'm not asking you to cheat on your girlfriend, but can you get that machine? I need you to be in control of it.
I can talk to it. I won't kiss it though.
Don't kiss it. Just
No, I don't want.
yes. I would never ask you to do that.
No, I can try that.
Okay. And I'm like, okay, guys, we got to back him up. Make sure you can get there.
All right, I'll keep the big guy busy.
Okay.
I mean, I was just gonna try talking to the big guy.
Too late. I'm throwing my axe at him.
I've got an obsidian shark and an axe. And I'm not built for talking.
It's like, who needs Deimos?
It's just setting me up to chastise you about recklessness later. We're all good.
Yeah, Rich, can I try to smite my enemies? Just like come in, axe blazing, throwing this axe at our big tech god here.
Please roll prowess at the tech god.
Yeah.
By the way, the tech god, before he was deified, was Employee of the Month, Stuart Lipschitz.
All right, Lipschitz. I am sending a 9 in smite your enemies his way.
Oh, nice.
So what do I?
You will be trading harm because you are charging him, and he will say, "I compute that there's a threat coming my way." Turns his power glove and fires this laser at you.
Nice. I get to choose one thing from the list on a 7 through 9.
Yep.
I think it's make an opening for an ally.
Nice.
So whether that's opening him up for Colby to try a more diplomatic approach somehow, or just like distracting him and giving Pillar a clear line at the Dynamis mechanism.
You tell me, because if you want to swap, he's going to harm you. If you want to swap harm, you can do that, and part of that harm will be opening and giving an opening to your ally. If you want to just
look, I never take protect yourself on these moves. What a boring option that is. So,
but do you want to give him harm? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm going for the. On a hit we exchange harm no matter what, right? And then I'm just picking one of the other options as a bonus.
Well, the way I read it is, if you just wanted to take the bonus of, I just want to distract him because I know Colby's going to talk to him, right? Because once you hack or mono chomps, talking to him is going to be less of an option, right? Because the guy who wants to talk to me is right beside the dude with the obsidian shard that just bit my leg. I'm just saying, like, I'm happy to let you swap harm. I was just giving you the option of, like, if you just want to roll up and create an opportunity, swapping harm. It does even say in the move, it's if you know what, I can't remember how it's phrased.
Trading harm is optional here.
Yeah, trading harm. So thank you for reading the words I couldn't read.
I'm perfectly okay if you want to just smack him and set him up for Allie to come in and smack him again.
Yeah, I'm going for it. I've got this new axe. I want to use it. So I think Danny hefts it, and like as he throws it, there's kind of like a lava shimmer around it, and it like bites into one of these like techie shoulder pads the guy's got.
Nice. How much damage do you do? Because that's an epic level weapon. I think it's going to do quite a bit here.
My understanding was epic weapons all did 4 damage.
Yes, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Take that, geek.
Ooh, nice. So you slam in through several Blu-ray players that he's had as his shoulder pads. and blue rays kind of shatter and fall to the ground. Mono comes in and bites his bicep, right? Gets his teeth on his bicep, and he's like wiggling really hard. But you took 3 levels of damage. If you have any kind of armor, you can apply that, but that's 3 3 levels of damage that are coming to you.
Yeah, no armor, so I'm gonna take it.
Cries out in pain, and steps back and butts into the Biomore, smashes through one of the windows, and then he flings you aside, but he's paying way too much attention to you, which is the opportunity for anyone else that wishes to act. Who wants to go next?
So it looks like Pillar will be able to get there to the dynamis mechanism without this guy in his way.
It seems like that, although it is possible that someone else who is super fast might get in his way.
Okay. And I'm like, Colby, I think Danny needs a heal, and I kind of do too. I'm going to go over there and see if I can help him. If you can help Pillar get up there, watch out for the Furies. I'll be with you in a moment. Okay. So does this?
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. You're saying that all that to Colby, and he's like, okay.
She kind of does this, shakes her head as she goes. I'm just going to get close enough that I can heal Danny.
Okay.
And then that's regrowth, which is with I forget. Why do I
it's metal.
Metal. Okay. And I've got 2
which
of those.
is a 2 for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But that's okay. I can roll badly. Watch.
And what happened to him? He got kind of flung across the parking lot, right? Or
oh yeah, you got flung across the 3 harm. You like smashed into this Volkswagen Bug that had the Nerd Herd logo on the side of it. You mashed into it. It kind of dimpled in on you, and Allie comes over to try to help you out. And so you try to use regrowth, and that's when like all of these vines start just shooting up through the asphalt, and they wrap around Danny and you and separate the 2 of you, and then start growing higher, trying to it seems that the vines are moving you guys away. And you hear Ella's laughter of the two Gemini twins as she zips around the area.
Okay. And that's it. And what?
Ellie, is this supposed to happen with the vines?
Kind of like your volcanoes, sometimes they're not really. Never mind. And so I get an extra heal, which means that essentially on a miss, I can take 1 harm, but I'll do 1 heal to myself, and which evens it out. But I'll do 2 heal on him.
Okay.
Even as we're doing that, so
nice.
I have
miss, you can choose to take 1 harm and heal 2 harm for 1 person. So there you go. And you have Vital Aura, so you can heal an additional harm. So that's 3, right?
Yeah,
you were doing 1 to fix yourself. Sorry, got you. Took me a second to catch up. You're like far advanced for my brain.
So, and she looks a little frustrated, Danny. You might notice that. That's
nice. So just as a little bit of color, Orthrus charges across, and he's now both heads gnashing at the vines that are holding you up, Allie. He's determined to free his friend, or master, but whatever terminology you want to use for it.
He's a good dog. He's a good puppy.
I know that Pillar is making his way to the mechanism, but I'm curious, what is Colby doing? Because Lazarus just bailed out of your pocket. He was like, deuces, buddy.
Well, Lazarus knows what he needs to do. It's cool. I understand. So Allie had asked me to help Pillar get there, and the chief concern seems to be the Furies with their super speed getting in the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I'm looking at is doing something to interrupt them. So I'm going to do a spell to restrict movement.
That sounds great.
Yeah. And maybe I think I'd rather roll and then see how it goes, and then we'll describe from there, because I have an idea for how the spell looks.
As a reminder for those who haven't seen on the wiki, and also because I just like the picture anyway, these are the Gemini twins, and you will be facing off with Zephyr, who is the guy on the left there.
All right. So I rolled a 9 with my +2. That makes it an 11.
Nice.
So I'm only dealing with Zephyr, right?
Yes. You are only dealing with Zephyr right now, because
so we're going to yeah. So I think we're probably looking at restrict movement and inflict 2 harm.
Oh, nice.
And this is certainly going to inflict collateral damage.
Yes.
Because what I actually do is, so Colby's walking towards Pillar, and he's like, this is way too much work. And he whistles. And all of a sudden, bits of the pavement are lifted up by those goblins you described before all over the place, making the ground, like, uneven. And he was hanging out in the labyrinth for a long time, so he just made a whole lot of deals with them. He traded cigarettes. That's why he was chewing on grass. He was out of cigs. And so basically it's just a whole field of trip hazards as they're going up and down. So Zephyr is, like, banging direct into pavement and flipping over on his ass.
That is awesome. Just imagining, like, we flash back to moments where you keep visiting the Goblin Market, and
hey, Frank.
Sweet. So the pavement all becomes super rocky, and Zephyr trips a couple times. He takes a couple of harm. He recovers, of course, but still, it's enough to throw him off. And by restricting his movement, that's going to give an advantage. I am going to allow Pillar to perform under, let me make sure I say the name right, perform under pressure to get to the mechanism, and you get to roll with Fate's favor, which means you get to roll 3d6 because of the movement being restricted for your foe.
Nice. Ooh. Well, I did roll doubles. That's good.
Oh, yay.
What was I rolling again?
You were rolling perform under pressures plus metal.
Okay.
Did you have a 2?
Yeah, so an 8 total.
Woo! Yeah, you get to take the 3 and 3, and 2 makes it an 8. And if you take a look at so roll 2d6 plus metal, 7 and 9. There's a complication. Choose one option from the list. Take a harm. Something breaks. It takes longer than it should. The result is only partially effective. Where your next roll is with Fate's disfavor.
I feel like my playbook wants something to break. I'm gonna try for that.
That's a good idea. I like that. Let me think for a moment. What could break? What would be a terrible thing to break? Because you want the mechanism to break. So breaking it here would be advantageous, not a mixed success. Right? Because your plan is to actually break it, isn't it?
Yeah, that seems possible. That's a good one.
Sweet.
Yeah, what would be?
So you move in to work on this device. I remember it is a steampunk cash register looking device. Test a couple of touches. Zephyr's unable to stop you, and you hit a particular button, and then all of a sudden you hear this loud rumbling underneath the ground, and it starts to sink into the ground. What do you do?
Well, that's not good at all. Is there a way that I can try to talk to it to figure out what's going on here?
You should certainly do that.
Yeah, I guess. I think I'm gonna. Is Deus Ex Machine appropriate there?
I think so.
Cool. that. Then, ooh, well, more doubles, although I think, yeah, it's a 6 total.
Do we have teamwork and tangles?
Yeah, somebody should probably help him out. I mean, I'm perfectly happy with the miss. And you do get an XP for this miss because of the artisan playbook once per session.
Oh,
So if you want to eat the miss, that is okay with me. But I want to pause before.
It's kind of fun and dramatic if he gets sucked down into Tartarus, but
Yeah,
I
think though that maybe okay. You have a. I'll let you go. I'm sorry, Jason.
no, it's fine if you have an idea. Colby's on his way there already, and like I would BS some magical stuff, but
Yeah, BS.
all right, cool. What do I roll to assist on this?
Oh, you roll plus the number of tangles you have with him. I think you should have at least one.
I think I have one with Pillar.
yeah.
I have a grudging respect for Pillar's skills. So let's see how that goes. That will be an 11.
Jeez. Using up all your good rolls.
I saved from the 2 ones I missed. So
they get +1 to their roll, and
Yeah.
they gain 1 thread or XP.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I think that Colby is basically like peeking over Pillar's shoulder and then peeking over the other one, and as they're heading down, he's like, "Yeah, you have to hit the enter key for the spell to log. If you don't, then it's like an incomplete phrase, and the magic just hangs in the air. It could explode. You just look. No, just right. I could just press the key."
Pillar's like, it says press any key. Where's the any key?
They're not telling me which key to press.
It's
There's so many
the one with the
choices.
arrow. Just
Yeah, so that gets me to a 7, I think, right?
Yes, it would give you a +1. You had a 6, so that pushes you to a 7. On your 7 for Deus Ex Machine, what does that do?
So that means I can use the object as intended, basically.
But you'll lose your understanding as soon as the immediate task is finished. So you now have control of the dynamis mechanism. You can bestow a deity or bestow godlike powers upon a mortal for a period of time. You can take away the godlike powers bestowed upon a mortal, or you can self-destruct. What would you like to do with this very complicated dataless device? Self-destruct, self-destruct, self-destruct.
Yeah. Is there an indication of like how it works or what dumb kind of fictional?
Oh, the fictional justification for how it works.
Yeah.
So it effectively draws upon the faith in the local area in whatever people find important, and bestows that belief power onto one person to give them godlike abilities.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think he's kind of holding this, what typewriter size thing. It's just like a dataless device. I think this is not the best way to do things. This person over here is, not doing very good things. They're shocking people, and I don't want to be the person who tells you, but these twins and their friend are kind of having this plan that is not very good. I myself am a superhero. I don't have to tell you that being super heroic, you have to not do these things.
I don't know about this. I was programmed not to make judgments, but to bestow power. I am only a conduit. Why are you putting these moralistic quandaries upon me?
Well, I don't think you should be able. It doesn't seem like these people should be able to use you to do that thing. I mean, my very good friend Tiki, I gave her the ability to make her own decisions. Why not have your own?
Are you saying that I should have the ability to bestow godlike power based on my own judgment of others' actions?
Possibly. Seems better than these other people, right? Why don't you focus that power upon yourself instead of this other person?
Cool. So let's cut out of this conversation because I think several fighting things need to happen before you bring it to a close. But yes, you guys are having a nice little conversation. I don't know what it sounds like, but we're seeing this in like a different font on our comic strip here, or on the comic panels. Let's roll back to Allie and Danny as you guys are up on the vines. Right now, Allie, you're almost completely free as Orthrus has been ripping at the vines that are holding you up. But Danny, he's not helping you.
Hey, Ellie.
Mono probably is.
Yeah, but his shark teeth are not great on vines, to be honest. Hey, Ellie, okay if I just burn these things to a crisp?
And she sort of looks and she goes, can you just like cut a path? And she sort of puts her arms around. These ones are getting ready to bloom.
I'll just burn the ones that are holding me.
That's great.
I think the axe that I threw at the guy and like stuck in his shoulder kind of like bursts into flames and dissolves into ash and then reappears in my hand.
Yes, it does.
And then
it was designed that way. It's great.
Absolutely. And then Danny's gonna swing the axe at the vines and like summon up to meet it this plume of magma from below the ground. I kind of want to roll Cataclysm again.
I kind of want you to too.
All right. So that's 2d6 plus weird. Ooh. That's that's a 12.
Nice.
Here's the question: who's within 10 meters of me? Because the way the move's written, you wreak havoc on everything within 10 meters of you. Collateral damage is guaranteed, and you will pay a cost.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think everyone is within 10 meters is a big space. Allie is definitely in 10 meters. Orthrus is in 10 meters. Mono is in 10 meters. I think that the device is within 10 meters. I think that I love somebody had named him our tech god. Somebody gave him a name. What was the name? It's like up in chat and I can't find it. Dang it.
Geektron.
Geektron is within 10 meters. I think even Colby is. What happens?
I think the plume of lava kind of shoots up and burns through these vines, lickety split. But also there's just a cloud of ash and debris that billows out. So like if the camera pulls out, the entire parking lot seems to be consumed in red black smoke. And the move as written says everyone takes 6 harm, which sounds a little insane, but that's what I got.
Yep, that's what it says. 6 harm. If I remember correctly, people only have 7 wound boxes, and at least one of you already has a little bit of harm. So let's take a look at the wound stuff real quick. Sorry, I thought I ported everything over, but I don't think I have the stuff on wounds in here, do I? Because there are some minuses you get as you take harm.
Oh, yeah.
Armor will count against this because it's lava. So if you have any kind of armor or gear that does that, do keep that in mind.
Man, the 7 through 9 result would have been way less lethal for all my teammates. Sorry, guys. I rolled way too well on that one.
It's a weird move that you don't want to roll really well. I kind of like it because it's called Cataclysm, but it's scary.
Can I take threads for cause collateral damage and put your element on display?
Yeah, you should. You should. You should max out while you hurt your friends. I mean, it's fine.
Well, it's a good thing everyone has a death move in case I've just killed us all.
Okay, so the harm goes up to 7, and it's -1 to all rolls anytime you have more than 3 harm. That's all that is, and it doesn't appear to add up, so it's not like -1, -2, -3. It's just -1 to all your rolls until you're healed up. I do harm. Okay, hold on.
I think as he sees what is happening, Danny's like, "Oh shoot, guys, sorry, that was way more than I meant. Sorry."
And so there's like
many lectures,
lava coming out through all the cracks, destroying the vines. I'm imagining that Zephyr and Ella are like gone. They're gone. Like we're done. I think that the dynamis mechanism doesn't survive this conversation. Like it's like, I will bestow power upon this mouse, and then it gets all lavaed up, and Lazarus is like, oh, and he climbs up on top of you, Pillar, because he's not going down with the ship. He has plot immunity because talking mouse, talking apes, they can die. Talking mice, they survive. It's just my rules. It's my rules, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway. So yeah,
do you think that Ellie dies though? She already had 3 harm.
She did. Okay, so yeah, I think this is the thing. I think we're going to explore the death moves because there are some cool things about that. Also, you could probably pull a string with your dad. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. So yeah, I think Allie, in this cataclysm, what does it look like when you pass away?
Well, I think there's that thing of she's holding Orthrus's leash with the diamond scepter, as the sort of handle. So she's holding onto that, and this lava comes and it's burning her away. And she sort of has that sense of that happening, she's sort of being blown away. It doesn't hurt Orthrus. So he's sort of in there and he's barking at the source of it, and then he starts like baying and and howling, and she's sort of trying to tell him it'll be okay, and she just sort of dissolves, burns away. It's just that kind of
wow. Oh man.
There's a certain point where it's just too much, and it takes all of her superpowers away, and then she's ash and nothing.
Do we lose anyone else?
Pillar had epic armor, but he's really close too.
Yeah, he is. Okay. And Danny, you're fine. I think it's Danny, like this went way beyond any of your intentions, right? And so it's like the lava just keeps bubbling up. It's like flowing into Biomore. It's spilling out of the parking lot. And there's actually like maybe even tectonic shifts where there's a bunch of rock that's started to form up, and I mean this is a cataclysm, right? This is a template. This is insane, and I think this is the perfect time. Like there's this moment of quiet. That guy, Geektron, is gone, probably also enveloped in the lava, and then there's just the 3 of you guys, and Orthrus and Mono, and Lazarus is standing on Pillar's head because he's really tall. And we will take our bio break. So it's 26 after. Let's take. Does anybody need longer?
Can I have one thing before we go?
Absolutely.
So I think that Lazarus is up on Pillar's head, and Colby is like clinging to Pillar's arm and is like smoking. And he looks over at Danny, and like he's still got a cigarette in his mouth, but it's just like burned to a crisp. And he's like, "Dude, you suck at this." And I think that's
Yeah, that's my bad, guys. Sorry.
And we hit the staple, and we will take our break. So it's now 27 after. Let's take a 7-minute break. So 34 after, or 26 till. We will see you guys again. everybody's break was good. Mourned a little bit for the loss of Allie.
It's okay. I can come back with a darker, grimmer costume.
Ooh, no ribbons on this one. Or maybe this black ribbons.
Yes, in a funeral veil.
So my son just asked me, I went downstairs, he's playing through Destiny 2 right now, the video game, and he asked me to look up who did the voice of a particular character in the video game. And
It was Wallachon.
it was not. It was Lance Reddick, who
Oh, nice.
I adore. I think he's amazing. He was in... the first time I actually saw him was The Wire, but I also liked him a whole lot in... Oh, crap. What was the name of that? It was like J.J. Abrams doing X-Files. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Fringe.
Fringe.
Yeah, he was Fringe, and he was in Trump Uprising, the TV series, which was amazing.
Out of character, Sherry, I'm very sorry that I killed you.
The moves are there for a reason, right? So, and Lord knows I am the stepdaughter of a Lord of the Afterlife. So,
yeah, I felt those supportive underpinnings would make it less horrific,
less onerous for everyone involved,
and also it's a playtest, so giving some feedback to Jason Mills on that is.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this all goes.
Yeah, I've got an idea of how to bring you back once we figure out or explore the death moves a little bit. I could theoretically take this, whatever slag is left of this machine, to reconfigure it, maybe.
Oh, I thought you were going to stick her inside your girlfriend or something.
Also an option. That'd be great too.
I think you should have you need to make yourself a shell, like in preparation for when you pass. That you just what is that called when you have that? There's like a word for it, like not simulacrum, but you have a thing where your soul goes to, your mortal shade.
Oh, phylactery.
Phylactery. That's it. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Thanks, D&D.
Yeah, exactly. Obscure Tony.
Let me tell you a quick story while Jason is still away. Is unrelated to this game. There was a guy with a very heavy Scottish brogue who once ran a game for some of my friends at a convention, and they were in this desert, and they found this small town in the middle of the desert. They're very excited, and they head and they see that there is a fountain, right, with water, and they're like, oh my god, let's go. So they head down through the sand dunes, and they're heading towards the fountain, and he says there's a leak in the fountain. They're like, whatever, dude. And so they go towards the fountain, and the DM looks a little confused, and then he says, all right, and he says,
I know exactly.
He rolls damage, and they're like, what the hell is that? He goes, a lightning bolt. From what? The leak in the fountain. What? So it took them several rounds and a character death before they realized that his broke. He was saying a lich. There was a lich standing in the fountain, and it almost did a total party kill because of misunderstanding of an accent. I thought that was pretty great. I always love the leak in the fountain story. It tickles me. It's right up there with gazebo for me. So, good. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Would you please, Allie, read us what your death move is, and then tell us it's a leak in the boat, and tell us where we find you as the lava begins to cool?
Let's see. It's while I'm dead, my shade in the mortal world can inhabit a small, harmless animal to stay near my woven band. You could talk to people and members of the animal species you are inhabiting. So have to consider, after all of that goes down, what's still there? Wouldn't be a bird.
Wouldn't it?
Oh, no. Because, I mean, they would have been knocked out. There would have been all kinds of tumult, and they'll stay away from that big ash cloud for a while. So, I know. I think that there is, let's see, there's like a little Shih Tzu in one of the cars that's been left in there. And so, like, all the
The car got, like, rolled over, the window cracked open. I love
yes. And so it's a tiny yappy dog in a little sweater.
Okay.
Okay.
Who wants to tell me what's on the sweater? Because it has something written on it. Is it VIP, very, very important pooch? Or is it something like fire hydrant inspector? Anyone else? No? Okay, well,
I think it's like a sparkly pink sweater, and it says "Daddy's Girl" on it.
I'm glad it doesn't say "Daddy's little bitch." That's good. I like "Daddy's Girl."
All right.
That is adorable.
Okay.
Sweet. So, Allie is gone, Danny. You were the first to notice this, but Pillar and Colby, you also noticed this very quickly, that Allie is gone, and I'm curious, what do you do?
I'm sorry, guys. I just got this axe, and I guess I'm still learning what it does.
Dude, the entire point of this was that we didn't have to go to Tartarus. And now, because you couldn't control your powers, we have to go to Tartarus.
I don't think Allie would go to Tartarus. She was a good guy.
Why don't you ever read? Everybody go... It doesn't really matter if you're good or not. What happens, it depends on an awful lot upon what your pantheon is, on where you are at the time. It's not just good people and bad people. Besides, we're all freaking Chef Salad anyway, especially Allie. She was living salad. But no. I wanted to come in and talk. Instead, what do we get? Mount St. Helens in the parking lot.
It was really more of a Vesuvius scale thing.
That's not how...
I think Pillar's just holding like the melty stainless, or what was it called? The
Dynamist mechanism.
Yeah, the mechanism. He's just like, it's like drippy, and he's like, just stop talking to me. I don't know what happened to this.
It's dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we see anything left of Allie? Oh, can there be like a single like scorched ribbon like blowing through the air?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there totally has to be. I imagine like it's a ribbon that floats and then it gets caught on a stick, and for a moment it looks like Superman's cape in Death of Superman because it's a comic panel and we can do that.
I think Danny goes over and takes the ribbon, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, Allie. We're gonna get you back, okay?" And like he like ties the ribbon around his wrist.
At what point does the Shih Tzu come around?
Yeah, I think she can't get out of the car herself, so she's like barking in total frustration and like throwing herself at the window, you know.
Oh, and Orthrus sees this other dog.
Exactly.
Yeah, Arthur stops the death howls and sees this other little Shih Tzu dog and comes over and sniffles at it a little bit and then headbutts it a couple times. And then he's going to run back to Colby. And, he's got the chain around his neck and the flame wreath and everything, but it appears that the two-headed dog wants your attention, Colby.
Yep. I think Colby's still whining and and complaining about everybody else's recklessness. And this just feeds into that. He's like, look, the only person who is even worse at this is whoever left their dog in this freaking car. How many times do the people have to be told not to leave their dogs in the freaking car? And I think like he actually just opens a portal and reaches in so he can pull the dog out instead of
Nice.
bothering with the car at all.
Okay,
Right.
and imagine you're surprised when essentially first it goes like it's surprised, and then it's like Kobe, this is me.
So you can speak human speak too, just so we're clear on that.
Yes, you can. You can talk to people and members of animal species she's inhabiting, so she could talk to Orthrus directly, I guess, too.
Hi.
Oh, hey, big guy. What are you doing?
Hi.
Wow, you sound exactly like I figured you would.
It's like in surround sound because he's a two-headed dog.
Exactly.
Colby, I think he peers like in surprise at the dog, and then is like looking at it, goes, "You were way hotter as a plant."
I was not a plant. I was never a plant. She'll bite your thumb.
Ellie, are you a dog now?
No.
You look like a dog. Yeah.
And she goes, no, I'm possessing a dog.
Oh.
Why?
It's for the trip. You have some liminal moments. Why don't we make the most of them?
I just want to say, person to dog or whatever. I'm really sorry about burning you to death with lava. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, about that, I want to tell you something. Here, she'll trot over to him.
You would have thought
she'll sit back and put her little paw up. You
would have thought your armor would have done more because it was made of obsidian, which is technically lava.
She'll wait for you to lean down so she can talk to you.
Yeah, Jenny leans down.
Yeah, and she totally bites you on the nose really hard.
Shit, Sue.
She's like, okay, you have made a mess of this. What is left? What is going on? I'm too short. I can't see anything.
I think we took care of the geek god, and I melted the machine too. So other than killing you, it was actually pretty successful as far as volcanic eruptions and parking lots go. And you have to admit it's a pretty color. And he holds his hands up to the kind of maroon black specked sky.
Wow. She sort of turns around and she'll kind of look at Colby and she'll go, so there's no breach into Tartarus?
So he looks around and there was no exchange. I didn't see him open a portal. So I'm guessing the ritual didn't get completed. I mean, generally speaking, you would have had to have actually completed some kind of ritual or spell or borrowed something, and generally a breach into a place like that really, really rips open the place.
Read the weave to make sure.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Roll plus judgment.
Yeah. Who wants to roll for judgment? 7 plus 1 is 8. So
I think you get one question. Is that?
I don't
Two
know.
questions from the appropriate list.
2 questions. So this will be the place.
I think the what happened would allow you to confirm.
All right, let's do the what happened. Other than the obvious.
Yeah. But I mean, you're also making sure, was there a portal?
Yep.
Was there a swap? You can confirm all the stuff that you're saying. You knew it. I just wanted the mechanics to kind of reinforce you. You are right. They did not basically Geekatron wasn't powerful enough or hadn't been substantive enough for them to do the swap to free.
I'm gonna take the opportunity to lecture about magic.
Do it.
Like,
I mean, you're definitely there.
Now, to be honest, the Geekatron was never going to work because they were working with an obsolete concept. They thought they were being super advanced and modern, but the thing is, when you work with primal concepts, Loki is fire, Odin is lightning, things like that, you have things that contribute to most of the more modern stuff. You've got the building blocks. You got a thing that relies on technology. It's out of date like in 30 seconds.
But
the god of technology is the god of obsolescence. What?
I thought Loki was an ice giant.
Yes, but he's the god of fire. Look, again,
fire and ice.
If you're not going to read the books,
cool,
you should just listen to the lecture. All right? Anyway, so no, it was not going to work. And it didn't work. And but I guess we repaved the lot, so there's that.
Can we go see if Geekatron survived?
I don't like his chances, but sure.
Okay.
I hate to be gross, but I think that you find kind of like it. Was it? No, it wasn't. Crap, I can't remember. Pompeii.
It was.
Yeah, like the kind of silhouetted husk. But yeah, he did not make it.
Oof. Sorry, dude. Hey, Colby, Pillar, you guys got a little banged up too, huh?
Yeah.
I can help with that. Just hold still for a sec.
You know he's gonna burn you.
No, it's all right. This is gonna fix him.
By burning him.
Are folks up for me to rub some dirt on it, where I heal someone with my elemental powers?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. All right. I think indeed, like some kind of stray bits of fire kind of leap up from the ground. It kind of like coalesce into like lava gloves that Denny has, which he's gonna try applying to your injuries. 2d6 plus metal, so that's a 5 overall. So just that's a miss.
So he finishes killing us all. So.
Let me heal you by finishing the job.
There's no miss condition on the move, so we're really in Rich's hands now. But Danny was so sure he'd be able to do some wound cauterizing, or like if like Pillar had like a bit of him chipped off, he could just put some more some new material there. So Danny had a great plan, but he rolled badly.
Nice. You rolled badly. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I think what happens is that you start to ensorcel, try to heal Pillar, but then there's a rumble, like an earthquake kind of formed, and then a crack opens up in the asphalt, and a very pale man with like an aquiline nose and his hair's cut a little short. He steps up through the crack, like he walked up a set of steps that somehow come through the crack. He stands about 6.5 feet tall, and he's wearing this dark cloak underneath is very like gray and red toga. He looks around.
I think Danny's startled and like drops the lava, and it just splashes at his feet. He's like, what?
You know, son, your mother's very disappointed in you. Can't believe you killed my daughter.
Oh. Wait, you're Neil Darden, the garden guy?
He looks down at the Shih Tzu. He looks right at you and goes,
Yeah, and she's got her ears down and like her paws over her ears, and she's just like,
at least he's pretty. Orthrus comes over and he scritches one of the heads, and then the other head moves that head out of the way, kind of nips at it, like two puppies would, and then he pets that one's head. Come on, Ellie.
Is your plan to take Allie just down to the underworld there? Yeah, she's not really done up here is the thing. I'll tell you what. You pointed out. Hold on, let me double check the move real quick. Nope, has to be me. All right. Since you're a god of the underworld, I know that you're not opposed to the occasional game of chance. Let's play for it. You can restore her. She'll be here. She can continue to represent you, do the good work. If not, you got another dog to guard the underworld, I guess.
The panel zooms in on the daddy's little girl sweater that the dog is wearing.
yep.
Okay. I think he will look to you, Allie. Just checking in with you, girl. Daughter.
Yeah, and she kind of goes, we might as well try.
All right. Well, I got to play to win.
Yep.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, we got to buy more. I pick Overwatch.
Rich is like, Overwatch? No, that's not nearly. What is he gonna? Oh no! He'll say, "You laid down the challenge, son. I choose the competition. Follow me."
Sure.
And then he starts to walk into the buy more, and there's like, it's like electrical sparks and stuff, and a couple things are still flickering, and the nerd herd, all that's left is a sign hang on one chain. It's kind of gently waving, and he's walking back towards the video game section, just like he's gonna play Overwatch. And then you see that there is like a video game display. And in the video game display, there are two what look like someone has taken some kind of large bongo drum and cut it in half and stuck it into the console. And there are these like bocce, like big, thick drumsticks that are attached by cords. This is drum. It's basically Taiko Drum Master for who knows. System. And Hades walks over, snaps his finger, and it powers up, and he reaches, he's player 2, and he grabs the drumsticks.
All right.
I don't know if you guys have seen Taiko Drum Master, but he puts it on the most challenging level. And he looks over at you, Al, and he says, "You'll enjoy staying home with me at all times. You don't have to worry about the Tupperware food or anything. And you probably won't have to be a dog. I got to talk to Persephone." And you see this like crazy kanji up and these very anime faces, and then it is a rhythm game where you have to drum to the rhythm, and it is incredibly fast. So this is a game of talents. I think you tell me if it feels like a different move, but it feels like you're performing under pressure, right? To get something done when the heat is on.
Oh,
Literally
man.
performing.
It is
Now.
literally performing under pressure, which is my worst move.
Okay, but let's look around, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
You've got options. You can get help from others. You've got an ascendance move that could probably help out here. You've got spell casting. You have a lot of options, Bo. I'm just laying it out there. Fully utilize this game to your benefit, and good luck.
So
good luck.
I don't know how ascendance moves work. Can you explain it to me real quick?
You bet. So an ascendance move is your super move. It's your moment of truth from masks. You can only do it 3 times. The third time, you can only really do it 2 times and still play your character, because on the third time you pull off that move, but you've just drawn too much godlike power and you ascend. You literally ascend. You leave play. And there is the ascendance move is on row 42 for you. And it is what you want. I think kind of the cheap and easy way to say is that it's like a moment of truth. So you get a lot of descriptive power there.
I don't think it really makes sense for what I'm doing here, though.
Oh, sure. I mean, reweave is a weird one. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of it because it's the last session.
However, what I was going to try and make a claim for was to use my divine intellect to bend fate. Because, effectively, it is a speed and agility thing, but it's also a pattern that is predetermined. So I was going to try and anticipate it by reasoning it out.
I think that is fair. Is there anything that your 3 bandmates get it? Is this music? It's a band, woven band. Anything your bandmates would like to do before you go to dice?
I think Danny's whispering to Pillar. So if this doesn't work, we jump Hades, right?
I bite Danny again, right on the toe.
Ow, what? We're trying to help you.
Well, he is dressed kind of like a supervillain.
Maybe, but
I don't know. Do we trust Colby to be really good at drumming? Like, I feel like he's more of a sax guy. Just kind of, he's got that vibe about him.
Cool. And I think while you guys are having this conversation, Hades is just, let me just warm up a little bit. And it's like, and you see the drumsticks. It's as if they're one wavy thing, right? And his hands become this kind of blur, and he's just so he's done this at home. Like, we cut to the underworld where it's like all these spirits around, and he's just hammering away, and Persephone's like, supper's ready, and she's setting out Tupperware and everything, and hey, so just one more song.
Okay.
I've mastered another one, bites the dust, honey.
So while you're your shade, can you assist someone?
I think so.
Okay.
It feels like
here's the thing is I've been there when my stepdad is playing it. I know all of these. So I think that I can assist him. Like, I can go and stand on essentially Colby's foot, and essentially I'm, essentially got the little thing going on too. I know exactly what's happening, so I'm
nice. Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll to provide aid.
Okay, and you roll what with that? I always forget.
You roll the number of tangles you have.
Just 1, but it's better than nothing.
It is.
Okay. So that's an 11.
Nice. So you gain a thread.
Okay.
And Colby gets +1 to his roll. And I think, like, as this is about to happen, there's this, huge piece of the roof that fell in. And as you were picking up the drumsticks, Colby, this winged figure comes through and lands, and it's your mother, right? She's come to see what the hell is going on. She looks around. Colby, you're in town.
A little busy, Ma.
That's... And he's like, eh. Good luck, honey.
Nice to have your favor. We should have brunch. I'll call you.
Crosses her muscular arms. And, maybe we can have it after this.
Hi, Colby's mom. We're his demigod friends.
She looks out at the volcano. When you say friends, she doesn't say anything. She just kind of, we're his friends. She looks out at the volcano, looks at your obsidian shark. Nice to meet you. Are we going to drum or what?
So I get a +1, but not a roll with favor, right? So it's just
right. And thanks for pointing that out in chat. I always get mixed up. The person that when you roll to help somebody, if you do the 10+, they also get the XP or the threat.
Oh, nice. I will go ahead and add that.
I think it'd be cute if you could assign it or take it. See, I'm going to help you, but I kind of need to learn from this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. That's the way it reads to me, and I misread it. But when I look at it again, it says they get the +1 to the roll and gain 1 threat. So it sounds like it's saying they get +1 to the roll and they gain 1 threat.
All right. So I will now roll these here dice.
Oh man, hold on! Don't roll yet. Have you rolled?
I rolled, but I don't need to tell you what I rolled.
Okay. I was going to actually screen share, but no, just tell us, what did you roll?
All right. So I rolled a 9. Because I am using my divine intellect, I roll with weird, but I get a -1 because I'm harmed, but I get a +1 because I got help. So I actually got an 11.
Oh my goodness! You okay, so but you wanted to bend fate, right?
Yes.
So you choose 2 boons and no bane. So what does it look like?
Well, I'm going to pick a gift that's pushed beyond its normal limits.
Sounds awesome.
Do
you want to heal a harm?
I was thinking about it. So we're doing more after this, right?
I mean, I think so. We got an hour. I'd like, you guys are,
No, I was half debating making a supernatural ability go dead just to make like Hades drop the sticks.
Totally do that. That'd be fun.
And do I get a bane? No, I get no banes on this. So yeah, I think that's actually what I'm going to do. So they're going back and forth, and there's the point where Colby's going and Hades is going, and then like it just goes, and it falls out of his head in slow mo. It goes, oh yeah.
Nice. And his supernatural ability goes dead. So does he just lose the thread on the drumming? Is that what that looks like to you, or is it something where?
Honestly, that's where I was going to go if it was on the drumming. Otherwise, I'll just take the healing.
Up to you. Do you?
No, I think it's specifically on the drumming that he makes a mortal mistake where he should not. He should be only make immortal mistakes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, he zips through. You guys go through a couple different songs, and I'm curious. I'm going to ask Pillar. What is the song that Colby wins on. Like there's a drum solo. I know it's out of a left field. It doesn't have to be an actual song list. It could be a thing where it's like custom song or whatever. It's just something that's got a cool drum bit that you like.
Oh man, I don't know. You already made the best selection with Another One Bites the Dust.
I'm not fair. Sometimes I like throwing music quizzes out to people because I always get with people who actually are like, yeah, I know music. Their answers always tickle me. But then there's always the one person that's like, why are you doing this to me, Rich? It is okay. Anybody have an idea?
Oh, what about what's that? Is that like 70, like Magic Man or something?
Ooh, cool. Magic Man. That's perfect. That's the perfect song. Yes, thank you. Good. That was super great. Good. So on Magic Man, the song seems to unravel Hades' ability. He like falls, he loses the beat, and then he starts sweating a little bit. Then you start to pull ahead, and he's missing a few. There's a solo bit, and you just nail it, and he's getting more and more frustrated. And then finally, he just throws the sticks down, and they swing back and forth on their little ropes. And he says, reaches over, pats your head, Allie, and then you and resume your demigod form.
Awesome.
And he says, I can't believe I lost to this guy.
I had victory on my side. Literally, victory came in.
And she's like, he's not wrong. Well, I guess he kind of makes up for that one. And he thumbs over at Danny. I gotta go before I cause more of that shit. And he points out to the volcano. Swipes his hand and the earth cracks open again. You see this stairs leading down towards the underworld.
Oh, Mr. Hades, sir, you said you talked to my mom. Where?
Well, she's in Tartarus, son.
Pele's in Tartarus?
Did I stutter? Ellie? He's in Tartarus. She's in Tartarus.
Yeah, Dennis just stunned. He's like back on his heels. Yeah.
He finally reaches over and pats your shoulder. Anytime you want to come down and visit, son, you just do that. Okay? Hospitality. And then he'll start walking down the stairs with a smile. You see the smile in the shadows, right? As he looks back up, and then everything disappears, and the earth forms back together again.
Your stepdad's pretty cool, Allie.
And she's sort of like left. And when you turn around, she's like, all she's got is one of those nerd herd smocks on. And she's like, I would really like to get back to the house if you don't mind.
Oh, I could make you new armor.
No,
it's just obsidian.
No.
I could definitely do it. We
No, I'm with Allie. She doesn't need it.
We'll figure something out, okay?
Way better than the dog form. That's what I said before. I still believe it. It's a good look. I should stop staring.
Thanks, Colby.
Yeah, Denny punches Colby on the arm. He's like, dude, not cool.
Look, I now have to pay the price. Brunch with my parent. I'll see you guys later.
Aren't you going to open a portal for them to get home? Come on, son.
All right. I suppose I actually have to roll to make sure.
Yes. Guess where you might end up? Wait, no.
There's all kinds of places. All
Once
right.
more into the labyrinth, dear.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Oh no, I rolled like crap, but I get a +2, so it's a 7.
Okay.
Oh
cool.
no, but I'm still hurt. It's a 6.
No, you didn't. Oh, because you didn't heal yourself. Oh, that's awesome. It's a 6. Oh, it's delicious.
Even if I'd healed myself, it actually would have been a 6 because, yeah, I think it's, yep, yeah, up to 4 points of damage. You're up your -1s.
Mhm.
So,
okay. On a miss, you're in for a treat. It goes somewhere fun and unexpected. The Herald will help you figure it out. If we go back to the labyrinth, I think that kind of needs to be like maybe the end of the game because I don't want to make you guys go back through it again. Right?
okay.
wait. I have the ritual spellbook.
Oh, if you have the ritual spellbook, take +1 on portal rolls. So that pushes you to a 7.
It puts me back at a 7 again. Just barely.
All right. The portal is connected, but you can't see the other side.
I think as
you guys-
the portal appears, though, there's like a moment where the panel shows like the portal going to the labyrinth, and then it like switches.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, like it goes and you can see the plantler deer, and then it shifts again, and you can't see what's on the other side. But you know, Colby, you know that it's the house.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So I'm going to scoop up the little Shih Tzu, who is now ours, and
Totally.
Orthos's leash, and step through the portal.
Nice. Cool. So you step through the portal. Danny, do you go next, or Pillar, do you go next?
I think Danny goes as soon as he can.
Sweet. So Danny and Mono step through, and then portals. Anything you say to Colby before you go?
Was that Danny?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say Danny? I meant Pillar. Pillar, is there anything you say
Oh.
to Colby before you go? After the other two have portaled out?
Oh, maybe I'll just say, "Oh, don't get lost this time."
Nice. And then you step through as well. I'd like to take, I did not use my break time wisely. So I'd like to take a quick 2-minute bio break. So I'll see you guys in just a couple minutes, and then we'll pick back up. I am back.
You were fast.
Well, it's literally like right across the hall. So it is super close. I hope that I am that fortunate if we end up having to move.
Oh, you haven't heard yet?
Have not.
So frustrating.
Well, I mean, they had a large pool of candidates, according to one of the folks, so it'll happen when it happens. It's just only so long that I can put off the other stuff I've got to do. All right. Well, with since he's doing brunch anyway, we can just hop to you guys. So the portal was successful, right? And I don't like the thing where you get a mixed move and it ends up being a hard move. So you do come into your own domicile, but I think it would be cool if you portal into Echidna's lair. And Echidna, as you guys step through, is not happy that you're here. And also, she's a little more swollen around the middle than before.
And isn't Orthus like one of her offspring?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when Orthus comes through, he gets very excited. He comes up, and there's a lot of hugging and then double licking. And yeah, at first she was upset, like, why are you guys here in my room? Oh, you brought me Orthus. So she's pretty excited about that.
Yeah. And I kind of say, you're looking well, positively glowing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the curtains. They're very nice.
Good. It's always nice to have a little bit of control over how much light you're getting.
It is. And I'm sure your neighbors would not like to see me. Not all of them, at least.
No, I think we're really growing on the folks in the neighborhood.
I think not my observation.
Used to having demigods in town.
We might have a little setback now. And she goes, I gotta go get changed, but I'll be back in a few moments.
Oh, mortal modesty. How quaint. And then as you disappear to go change, Pillar comes through and you hear, oh, it is my boyfriend. And Tiki walks down the corridor and sticks her mechanized head through the doorway.
Yeah, and Pillar's like, "Oh yes, we just had quite the time. How are you liking the house now?"
It is acceptable. It is better now that you are here.
And how's your dad or father, Daedalus, here?
He is very upset. He said that you destroyed one of his mechanisms.
Oh, well, that was a little bit Danny, but that's true.
I will tell him. He knows.
And then, yeah, I think Pillar's just like, well, you can. Oh, what were you gonna say? Yeah, I want to have Pillar like. I think he's It's like, oh, if you wanted, you could stay with him in his room. I know we haven't been talking very much.
I do not understand. What have I done?
Tiki, it's not you. It's me.
This does not make sense to me. Please explain.
No, it's okay. I don't know if I have more than that. But
Nice. He just kind of trails off into this weird awkward to awkward. I love it. So yeah, Danny, when you come into the house, does Mono stay in your room with you, or does Mono just kind of disappear?
There's kind of a lava fountain in the garden that Mono splashes around in.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's no wonder that the neighbors are getting used to you guys.
Yeah. If Danny goes to to help see Mono back to the fountain, he might just kind of like sit on the edge of it and just like throw little pebbles into the lava as he's thinking, and like talking to Mono to process out loud.
Nice. As you're doing that, you notice that there's an area right in front of there's a little Zen garden that's been set up. It's one of those like wooden rake type deals. And as you're sitting there and processing things, the Minotaur Agalad just comes and sits down beside you all. His knees are crisscross applesauce.
Did you make that garden, bull dude? Man, I've been through a big day. I accidentally killed my friend, and then my other friend brought her back to life. But the god of death, after he lost his drum solo, told me that my mom is in Tartarus. And I guess that makes sense, because that'd be why I haven't seen her. So, maybe she really does love me. She just hasn't been able to get to me because of being locked up in the prison for bad gods. But that raises other questions. I don't know. What do you think?
He stands up, and he takes his little rake, and he hands you the rake. And gestures to the Zen garden.
Danny's like, all right. He goes over to the.
It's kind of one of those things where like he's done the little swirl type deal, and there are a few rocks that are just perfectly set, just right.
I think Danny just like follows his instincts, and like takes the rake, and maybe like the panel like gives us an overhead shot, and we see after a little bit, Danny's created like a volcano, the volcano design in the rocks. No, it's not a literal volcano per se. Thanks, Jason. Can I read the weave and see if like entering this kind of zone helps me learn anything about?
I'm absolutely hoping that we were headed there. Yes, please do. Roll plus judgment.
Roll plus judgment, and I just added to that stat.
Yes.
So, and good thing I did.
Roll 3.
No, I rolled a 7. Right.
So you rolled a 7, and by raising your judgment, it is now flat, which means you squeak past that. I believe you get 2 questions.
2 questions on a 7? Nice. All right, let me see what I can do here. Okay, so he's preoccupied with his mom and what he just learned about her. So can I pull from the read a person list here?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. This is a Zen garden. You can ask whatever question you want.
That's what's so great about Zen gardens. Yeah. So I want, how does this person factor into our weave, and what would make this person like me?
Oh, so sad.
Those are the big questions on his mind.
Cool. So how does it factor into the weave? You gain a greater understanding of the world. And there are words that Colby told you in anger that seem to unlock a bit of this understanding that Tartarus is not a place where bad gods are kept. It is the seal that prevents gods from coming to Earth, because when they do, their power is so great that it breaks the world and causes the kind of cataclysm that you wrought. And demigods are the only beings that are just underneath that power structure to be able to function here on Earth without causing undue harm to the world. And what can you do to get her to like you? You realize that there are a great many things that you have done that she's proud of. She must be. But gaining greater control over the element that you share so that you do not harm your friends is what would make her the most proud.
Yeah, I think Danny nods. He's like, radical. And he passes the rake back to the Minotaur. He's like, you're a really good listener, bull dude.
He takes the rake, and after you walk away, he kind of flips it over to where the tongs aren't in, and he slides across the sand to wipe it clean, as it were. So, Allie, you go and get dressed. What do you do once you've gotten dressed?
What do you mean? Getting dressed is the whole thing.
Okay, cool.
This is the remaking. I mean, gotta like re-choreograph the transformation and everything. This is the whole thing. So yeah. So I think that she's in there and she's pulling all of her options out and weighing them. This is a big scene. So you should probably go to the breakfast for Colby, the brunch.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I imagine
You're pulling all of her stuff out and throwing some of it into one side of the room. Like, this just won't do. She's going through what her options are.
Did her mobile phone survive all of this, or is she out of touch?
No, I think that was destroyed. So she'll have to get a new one.
Man, we're like Demas is like, she hasn't answered. It's like 26 texts. Dude. All right.
Is she breaking up with me?
This is not good. This is totally not good. She's pissed at me because I wanted to kick Loki's ass, but it was such a good plan. He's like crying to Coldheart. Coldheart, of course, has no sympathy for him whatsoever. So we will cut to brunch then with Colby and his mother. Where is it that you two? Please don't say meat shake, because I don't think that your mom would be down for that. But
oh no, I'm pretty sure it's like a penthouse restaurant, and everybody's dressed very fancy. She's a little bit of a celebrity there, and Colby is there smoking slightly because he's still at 6 harm, so he's charred, and
I think yeah, you guys are seated, and she looks over and she says, she reaches into a little messenger bag and she pulls out and she touches your shoulder, and she'll heal you up to where you are only at 3 harm.
Aw. Mother's love.
Are you back to New Gauntlet City to stay for a while, or were you only passing through?
I was only passing through, and it probably wouldn't have made sense to bother you. I know you're busy, but I mean, you saw my friends. They kind of need me. So I guess I'm here.
Why does that sound like you're disappointed to tell me that, son?
I'm not disappointed to tell you. I'm I just don't want you to feel tied down. I don't. You don't owe me anything. And like I said, I know you're busy.
Actually, a great deal of things have happened since you were last here, son. And I have been considering passing down my mantle. I am the 28th champion of Nike, but...
Are you even allowed to do that?
I am, and I don't even have to die to do it.
Bonus. A little bit rare, given the Pantheon.
There is a girl by the name of Maribel Rios. She's an activist here in the city, and I think she has the spark.
But what are you going to do?
Oh. I have not had any time to myself in quite a while. And the last time that I could make my own choices, one of them turned out great.
So she has another kid, right?
I think that Maribel Rios could be her kid, but doesn't have to be her kid.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, I think we lean towards
if she
that
had
being
another
kid, so I think maybe it is her kid, and she's just gently sliding this in. But if you, so I think yes.
Right. So Colby is not quite able to take all the compliment there, and he's like, "Oh shoot! Now I wish we'd gotten together for brunch earlier." But it meant a lot that you showed up when you did. And, I think that's what family should do, is show up when it counts. So thank you.
You're welcome, son. I may have to drop by your house. Pester you from time to time.
I think we can make room for that. You want me to, if you're thinking about passing things down, I don't know if she wants to hear about the inner workings of magic. My friends won't leave me alone about it. They're always asking me to explain what's going on. But I could check in on this Rios if you want.
I'd like that. I think she would enjoy meeting you.
Well, sometimes I'm an acquired taste, but we'll see.
I think that seems like a good time to bring that scene to a close. Mm-hmm. Just a smile on her face, and somebody comes up and takes a camera phone picture and asks for selfies with her, and then we bring that to a close. So as you guys can tell, kind of winding down towards the end, I want to make sure you guys have the kind of scenes that you want, and then we'll lead to epilogues. So this is me opening things up. We haven't seen anything from Pillar other than the breakup speech with Tiki. Anything else that you wanted with Pillar, David?
I had an idea for a real quick epilogue type thing. Is that where we're going?
Sure. Yeah, I'm setting up epilogue, so let's do it.
Sure. So Jason, real fast to remind myself, wasn't Theodora in the Masks game? Wasn't her deal? She had just tied up with a demon or something.
She has a fire spirit bound within herself. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So I think real quick, maybe there's a panel of just Pillar just breaking down the door or something of wherever she lives. Let's say an apartment or something, and she's "Oh, sorry about that, Theodora. But I've learned a lot with my brothers and sisters that I was with. And I thought you could deal or benefit from it a little bit. You say there was a demon around you, but I've learned that gods are even more powerful." And he, from behind his back or something, he just brings out the Dynamis mechanism. And he's like, "Maybe this can help. and it just like got there.
Wow. You see Theodore's view, and then the mechanism says, "And I can make the decision." Cool. I love it. What about Allie? Any epilogues that you wanted to have? Or what is your epilogue is the question. I'm not going to let you opt out. You must have an epilogue.
Of course, I have an epilogue. So, I mean, she regears herself. So, she's died once, so she loses her divine constitution. Essentially, that is it. But in return, she gets epic armor. So, it looks like it is made of woven wheat staves, except that they've been burned. So it's obsidian still, but that has that look of totally being burned away. And so she's wearing like just the same amount of black as she was before, but her ribbons are they're the gray and red and black like Hades, but also a reference back to her death. And she's not more grim. She's more, I suppose. She's not more cautious. I think she's more like she's going to seize her opportunities, and she's going to. But that's just what she's thinking now. She still carries the little Shizu around with her, his little outfit too, and essentially, she's still dating Deimos, and it seems like things are the same for her, but she's really a lot more aggressive about going for things. So I think the last time that you see her is it's like, he's talking about like, we're just going to beat this guy up. And I'm like, well, if you're going to do it, just go to Tartarus and do that.
That's awesome.
That's all.
That's good.
Just call his bluff.
Yeah, it's totally a bluff. He is not ready to go to Tartarus.
Right.
He is super outnumbered. That is fantastic. And so do we have an epilogue for Danny? Because I have a thing, we're probably on the same wavelength. So what do you think? Do you have a thing?
Oh, I did have a thing. I'm really curious what your thing is.
It might be the same thing. What do you imagine is the epilogue for Danny?
Yeah, I mean, what I propose is we see a panel, and there's Danny, there's Coldheart, and there's Mono, the obsidian shark, and Danny's like, all right, so are we gonna do this? And like he like gets on the front of the shark, and gestures for Coldheart to get on the back of the shark as like a lava portal opens up in front of them, and he's like, "Let's go visit our moms."
Yeah, and there's a moment where she's about to get on, but then she stops, and imagine that Allie hands her a bunch of Tupperware dishes, and she throws them into a pack, slings it over her back, and gets onto Mono. And as you guys start to go into the portal, you see two green and purple speedsters zip past you guys, laughing. They're gonna like run down the lava flow.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, we were all totally on the same wavelength, so that is fantastic. Anybody have any last epilogues, or is that what we bring things to a close with?
I'm pretty happy. Like the only other things I had were actually not very epic, so I think I'm pretty happy where I ended with brunch.
Awesome. I'm really glad that brunch worked out for you. Brunch often does. It's a magical meal. That is it. I don't think we have any in-session moves. I always ask that question, and I'm pretty sure we don't, unless you guys ended up getting a few moves. Anybody have any end-of-session stuff? Okay. Awesome. Well,
Got to move, but there's no more games, so.
Oh. What was the move since it's a playtest?
Well, no, I didn't even. I mean, what I'd probably do is increase my metal because I'm -1 to perform under pressure, and I feel like that is a thing I could justify improving.
Buy it because I had a really good time. So who knows? Maybe I put this back on the calendar. So you should go ahead and buy that advance and just take it off.
And I bought a new one. I bought
What's that?
do-over. So I don't take any damage from a surprise attack.
That's a smart move.
I didn't really learn it. It was a stepfather gift, you know. So
It's like, honey, come here. I got to show you something.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
All right.
Good. If you're going to keep hanging around Danny, probably good to have that in the back pocket.
For nobody's going to pull out a cataclysm.
I am still surprised that he didn't name Cataclysm move the Cataclysm, but that's maybe a little too nerdy and inside Mimi, but I don't know. That will bring our 4-shot of Demigods PBTA to a close. It's all done. That was super fun. So I'm really curious if we could do just a little bit of feedback at the end. Think about the totality of your experience using Demigods PBTA. We will start with Thorns, but before we won't start with Thorns. I just want to start with a general question. I decided in my hubris of trying weird stuff, of liking peanut butter and chocolate and trying to make Reese cups all the time, thoughts on Demigods PBTA in a superhero comic book world? Were there any rough edges that never felt like they fit? Or did the fact that they're costume superheroes in this world make the demigods feel less epic or interesting? I just kind of open that up, but I can call on folks if you guys are waiting for everybody else to answer. But I want to kind of pose that out there. How did you feel about demigods in a effective like supers setting?
I would say one thing is it muddled the genre a little bit. And essentially what it is like there's a sort of thing of, we're doing super, so the masks kind of teenage emotional stuff is sort of like where, sometimes that's where my bubble is. And then there's also just a straight superhero of solve the problem, and I'm like, where, I'm not sure that this was supporting the emotional stuff. So it was more of a solve the problem, do the trick. I think genre is how the moves are written. At least as I'm reading, I may miss some moves. And it always takes me a few plays of a system to find all the pieces of the engine. So, but that was my feel, is that's the only thing where maybe there was just, especially because Masks PBTA is such a strong thread that it's really hard not to hark back to that.
Mm-hmm. And it's a very strong influencer on this game, so you can see the DNA. Yeah.
So that was the only thing I would say.
Okay, that's good. That's helpful.
I think it works within the genre, but the thing is, demigods and gods within comics they're kind of all over the place. Like in part because of how I was playing Colby, to me it felt very Justice League dark. So that there's a supernatural element, but they're not all powerful. They're not up in the Thor area of superhero-dom. They're kind of street level, but weird and dealing with things that you can't quite see. Even when they're, riding on lava on the back of a lava shark, they're not quite up in the gigantic superhero level, but they're not really street level. They're kind of this offshoot that does exist within comics, but it's a little bit niche, which I love, and like I said, that's the way I was pitching Colby anyway. But it is just a different kind of space.
Yeah, that's good to note, and that might be a thing that if I revisit, I'll try to make sure and work into the pitch so people have. Because I think setting good expectations are important. Alexi, you've played a lot of Masks, so I'm really curious.
Played a lot of Masks. I think I think demigods in a superhero world work pretty well. I didn't feel like we stuck out in the setting as a sore thumb. It's just that perhaps the civilians saw us as mostly like the other superheroes, and we also had our own issues. I think the one like genre thing is that superheroes don't kill people and demigods kind of do. Especially, and like mechanically it's true, right, that like if you do enough harm to someone in the system they die. So that was like the like odd moment, but it's not.
I felt like I felt that moment too, especially when you guys were like, "Can we find the guy?" And I'm like, "This isn't a." I'm like, "It's demigods, so
It's
I think
demigods.
it's got to be dead." Like
Yeah.
that's the thing, is the collateral damage of demigods, is they leave stuff behind. So
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys rolled with it, but it was weird too for me, like
Yeah.
as the GM having to make that decision of like, okay, which way do I go?
I think it makes sense. I think that if people choose to run this game in a superhero setting, they could explore that tension a little, let it like become a thing, for the demigods going forward. Yeah, overall, my assessment is that this fit into New Gauntlet setting pretty well.
Good. And then David, I specifically, if you have other stuff to talk about vis-a-vis demigods and stuff like that, great. But I also had a question of, you played Pillar in Masks, you've played Pillar in Demigods. What are your thoughts, kind of comparing, contrasting? I'm really curious about that.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever picked up, especially like these shorter run games. Like, took another like a character from a previous one, so that was pretty interesting. It was kind of hard to, especially at the beginning, to kind of figure out how Pillar and the artisan kind of went together. But I think I got it eventually. Yeah, Pillar's such a weird, strong character that it wasn't overly hard. I think, although overall, I sort of I think I was hoping more for the comic book kind of stuff going into it, but not to say that it wasn't like I wasn't happy with what we got. This was pretty ridiculously fun. Yeah, I don't know how I would solve that problem for myself, but
It's still good
Anyway.
for a composer to have it out there in our minds. Awesome. Rather than doing the thorns and roses, I'll just go straight to roses. I feel like, why not? Plus for time. So I'll bounce around to, I'm going to do Jason. Jason, what roses would you like to hand out to your fellow players?
Oh my goodness. You know what? I will go down the line. Alexi, I feel bad because Colby was always yelling at Alexi, but Alexi was happy to make Danny the screw up in the most kind of epic way possible, and that's pretty amazing. And that is 10 points to Alexidor for that. And it was having the opportunity to engage with the Allie's death with Sherry was pretty awesome. But also, like, we established early on in our tangle that Colby's feeling was that Allie didn't really understand him, but was pretty to look at, and that was a tricky place to play with, and her completely not caring what I said and dealing with it worked out really, really nicely. Pillar is a joy forever and should be in every single Supers game. And I love him, and I can't believe that he gave Theodora access to a god making machine, because that'll be fun. And as always, our MC Rich is the bomb. He's my very favorite MC, and I think I said that in the first episode, and that holds true. So it's always a joy to play with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jason. I'm just blushing over here. David, what roses would you like to hand out to your fellow players?
Yeah, this was great. All of these were great. This was almost like the like way. I think I've said this before. Like way funnier, like comedic bent than I was expecting, which I'm totally fine with. It was really fun. I did like this one in particular. We got to kind of sort of close those threads of meeting everyone's parents. That was really cool. Like that you kind of fit everybody in, especially because I got to play with Pillar's creator Morgan last time in the Mask game. But yeah, this was a really good session. I liked it a lot.
Good. Thank you. Sherry, what about you? Do you have any roses you'd like to hand out to your fellow players?
Oh yeah. So I've played with Jason before, and Jason is always a delight. And he was again, except we didn't have enough of him. So but the 2 sessions you were in, awesome. I liked Colby. He was a prickly young man, and done superbly well. Competent, always when you needed to be. I super loved Pillar. See, David, you made a character that everyone will love, and it'll be like a burden to you, because then you'll have to go on to another character, and people will be like, "Oh yeah, I miss Pillar." Yes, but still, I was very glad and very covetous of my time with Pillar. So thank you very much. I really did come to adore him during our trip through the labyrinth. And Alexi, you have embraced the cataclysm in a way that I was like, wow. The volcano shark and, the volcano and the shark thing was super high concept. And I have played a ton of superhero games and even a lot of these sort of demigod like versions like Scion and things like that. And that was maybe the most out there one. And you did a great job of all that strangeness and weirdness, and yet overall you were just the most awkward teenager in the entire world. It was a great character. Danny was awesome. He was. So thank you. It was very fun to watch and be with and get killed by. There you go.
Oh, Lexi, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, right back at you, Sherry. Thank you for being such a good sport about Ellie dying and making amazing choices about her shade inhabiting the dog, and then her kind of goth makeover at the end there. Really like made for a cool character arc in an episode where I accidentally killed you. Pillar. Throughout, David, you've done a great job bringing Pillar to life. I love his rapport with machines. I love that when we finally got to see him interact with his clockwork girlfriend, it's extremely awkward. And this session especially, I enjoyed him quickly bonding with the Dynamis mechanism itself and then having it destroyed in his hands. I guess this is a theme of my roses, which are partly about being good sports about the things I destroyed with the cataclysm. Jason, wonderful to get to play with Colby again. I missed him previously. Glad we got him back on board for the finale, and he really did his stuff here. I think all the magic was cool, but also the chastising recklessness was extremely deserved and well applied. It's been a huge pleasure. Rich, thank you for running it. Thank you so much for the reveal about Pele in this episode, because that really brought Danny to a new emotional place and was a cool thing to be working with as we wound down the campaign.
Oh, thank you. A lot of dittos around, and the compliments that you guys have all paid. Alexi, thank you for not being afraid to just push the limit and rely upon the weirdness of this game and use the moves that you're given. Having that spirit of it's a beta playtest, but also being considerate of the other players is really important. Sherry, thank you for being open to having your character die. I was like, oh God, I think someone's going to die with 6 harm. And then you're like, I think it's me. And I'm like, oh, shit. No one's going to kill me. No one's going to be mad. But I know. I'm sure he's probably killed your character dozens of times. You guys
No.
have played long enough for no, never. He never kills your character.
No, he's killed my character, but not dozens of times.
Oh, okay. All right. Just a few select special times. Awesome. David, thank you for joining us. Thank you for revisiting Pillar. It was fun to see him in a different lens. Jason, glad we could have you as much as we could have you. You're always welcome at my table, my friend. From the moment that I saw these characters during character creation and just where my head was at with recent media, I was like, totally gonna pull on Doom Patrol here. And it was such a Doom Patrol-y game, and I loved every minute of it. I don't normally run games quite this gonzo. I really don't. Like, I'm sure everyone thinks I'm lying, and they can probably quote games at me where I am lying, but in my head, they're not gonzo. But like, this one felt pretty gonzo. And I'm really glad that people chose moves, and then we were able to kind of fold them in and explore the death move, and we saw an ascendance move. Like, we really put, in 4 sessions, we put this thing through its paces. I felt like we really tested the game pretty well, and it held up. I think it's a good design. I like it. And yes, thank you for liking the Taiko Meister. I was like, yep, it's going to be Taiko Meister. I love that game. So anyway, thank you guys so much for playing, and we actually end on time this time. So yay us. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. That was great.